is on. Okay, good afternoon, everyone, or good morning for Canada, US, and other countries. And I think it's a good day for our friend Philippe in Tahiti. I don't know if Philippe in Tahiti, it looks like that. So the normally is you are perhaps suffering from the global warming. Yeah. Okay. Welcome, everybody. And this presentation today is not a presentation; it's a dialogue. It's a possibility for us to share ideas on what we are doing on the developer side in OpenBash Factory and OpenBash Passport. But it's also a very good possibility for us to discuss with you, users, and to get good suggestions for our development. So what I will do, I will try to be quite quick on the fact, and then to let enough time for your questions. So if we start from I would say the big lines, the guidelines of our development. The first thing what I would like to say that I've been designing now for years different kind of platforms for education, online education, and portfolio platforms and batch platform. For us, it's very important to have what we call open innovation-based development, which means that we develop our solution in collaboration with our customers. We learn a lot of things with you in an OpenBash Factory in your project, and we always try to in one way record your needs, and even we don't always say it, but to put it in our mind and to do some kind of, would say, good implementation for answering your needs. What is important now in our guideline for OpenBash Factory and OpenBash Passport is definitely to support the creation of batch ecosystem. So my view is that we are moving now from batch for my organization to batch for our networks, batch for our territoire apprenant, as they say in French. So definitely during two years already, there have been, I would say, a transition from my batches to our batches and to the community. And ecosystems are only emerging at the moment, but we need to produce good tools and solutions for supporting them. Unlocking the potential of badges for their owners and for the communities has always been central for OpenBash Factory. So I've often say that, okay, creating async badges is important, but if the earner can't use badges in a valuable way, if the badges do not have enough value for badge earners, it will never work. So that's why the OpenBash Passport has been developed, and both in OpenBash Passport and in OpenBash Factory, we try to move the scope and more and more from the idea of issuing things to more earning things, batch applications, for example, and using sharing things, and seeing also that badge that I have earned, I can use these badges in my personal development pathway, and I can endorse my friend badges and so on. So this is an exploration. We don't know yet all the answers. We are just exploring potential of badges with you. Now, one other thing which is important, of course, in the OpenBash Factory development, that we are moving more and more from just sending badges for presentations or for, let's say, courses, this kind of flyer badges, and more in the direction of using badges for managing talent, managing competencies, and so on. So there is a need now for organization to, let's say, support things, support the development, but also for tracking and understanding what is happening with badges, not only delivering a badge. And of course, improving user experience is important because we are let's say, producing quite new features all the time. Our customers, as I say, are asking a lot of new things and so on. And at the end, we have to clarify the flow and make things a bit more neat and more usable. Okay. Now for the question of ecosystem, what have we been doing for supporting ecosystem? Well, two important things. First, what I call network features. So badge sharing features are, in my opinion, quite interesting in Open Badge Factory. Organization can share badges as copy or as links, and endorsements have been now for more than 1 year a very central feature in our development. As you know, you can endorse organizations. Organizations can endorse each other. You can get your badges endorsed. You can receive a badge and get it endorsed in the Open Badge Passport. So I think the developer loop of this endorsement feature is quite close, nearly close, but perhaps we have some new things to do in this area. And of course, one of the important things in ecosystem that in some area, in some context, is the need to speak, I would say, a common language. So creating badges together, endorsing each other badges, it's fine. But in many cases where there is a need for, I would say, formalization, there is a need for alignment. There is a need for aligning to competence frameworks. And I will tell you today about our new feature, which is this integration of Open Badge Factory to ESCO, European Classification of Skill, Qualification and Occupation Framework. So first of all, if we go to endorsements, we have been, as I told you, doing quite many things. The new interesting thing in endorsement in Open Badge Factory is the fact that you can get request endorsement from external organizations. And while it's definitely, it has been a need for a long time, and I'm very happy that we just launched this feature something like 1 month ago, because it will open the endorsement circle, if I could say, and enable, I would say, external organizations which are not using Open Badge Factory to support, to endorse badges issued by your organizations. And basically, well, it's quite simple. It has been developed already on the tools that we have in Open Badge Factory. So you have external endorsement, as you see here. And there is also in the badge section, you can also choose, internal partner endorsement or external endorsement. In the both case, it works the same way, that you will get an email telling you that someone has a request an endorsement, and clicking the link, you will have the possibility to place your endorsement using the same tools in Open Badge Factory, and you will have the possibility to edit your endorsement and erase them if you want later. Now the ESCO integration, which is coming tomorrow. Tomorrow in the afternoon, we will make a new release in Open Badge Factory. Many people can say, okay, ESCO is only one of hundreds of frameworks in the world, but it's quite important framework in Europe. And we had some pressure in many European countries for having ESCO integrated in Open Badge Factory. As you know, in Open Badge Factory, it has been possible already to create alignments. So, but the question is that it was not very friendly in a way that you have to go first to the framework side. You have to search for the competencies. You have to copy the links. You have to copy the description and so on. So it's a lot of copy-paste work. Now, what I show you here is that you can add now inside the badge. You know that you had the alignment alignment, I would say, link inside the badge just before the criteria page. Now you can just pick from ESCO, and when you click pick from ESCO, you access in the browser the search engine of ESCO. You can choose your language, write your word or words that you want to find in ESCO, and then you can choose, is it an occupation, a skill, or a concept, okay? And then when you have found what you want to add as an alignment in the badge, you just pick it, click, and you can add it in the badge. So you could see in his view that the project management has been added here as an alignment automatically. So here basically the same idea is that you can do that with three kind of things. There is occupation, for skills also, and for concept. And also we are moving the alignment section or the alignment tool from the admin tools, because we think that it's more creator tools than admin tools. And you can, as before, has been done before, create alignments without the badge. So you can basically set up some competence framework by adding alignments here. And it's the same idea than in the badge. Here you can basically pick from ESCO, and then you will basically add the alignments from ESCO. So one other thing which is interesting here, that if you add alignments now straight in your badge, for example, ESCO alignment, they will be automatically saved in the alignment section. So basically your environment or your account framework will grow based on the alignment that your badge creators are doing. Okay. Here it's what you can see when you open this pick from ESCO. So the alignment has been basically saved automatically in the alignment library, and you can see that it takes the name, the official name of ESCO, in ESCO, the URL, and the description. And of course, I could not show here because officially we will release this feature tomorrow, and it was a bit tricky to do it with a test server. But the idea, of course, that when you get the badge, you just click the alignment, and the alignment will take you to the ESCO page. Okay, then what about the Open Badge Passport? What we've been doing, and well, we've been doing quite much on the passport. We've been doing a lot of, would say, new things and also improvements as a generic development, I could say, but also in project, like for example with New Material Leadership Academy or HPAS project, in which we have been doing quite interesting development last spring. One of these interesting development we have been doing is the dashboard, the passport. So the idea of the dashboard has been to make easier for users to find things and to go straight in the place where they want to go, and to get information at the top level. So I've seen it already. It's nothing really new, but let's say, in my opinion, it has been a quite important development last spring. Other things that you perhaps don't know, but for some people in Nantes area, we have been doing this social feature that now when you get a badge, you can see straight away in your badge, the badge that you have got already the other recipients of the badge. So you don't have to go to the gallery or to the explore section and to then search for the badge to know who has been getting it, but you can see it from your own badge. So in the future, we'll go more and more in this social, we will bring some kind of social, let's say, section into the badge for adding other things, not only this recipient thing, but also endorsements, for example, and who is following your badge, and so on. And we have been, of course, doing improvements. For example, is a profile page. And I don't know if you know that, now you can make a nice profile page, bring nice information from different systems here. And you can have also tabs, so you can bring to your profile different pages as tabs. So you see my profile conferences, and you can add other tabs. So basically we are going here in a more and more in a portfolio direction. Some people don't like the word portfolio because it's a bit, sounds sometimes a bit old-fashioned, perhaps more in Europe than in US or Canada. But we are going definitely in this direction, that you can use your badges for showcase your learning, and should be more versatile, and we will add new features and new things in this area. So not only getting badges, but you can group your badges and tell the story of your learning with your badges. I could call it micro portfolio, but as I say, I would like to keep the idea that the portfolio, in this case, stay in the hand of the badge earner, that we don't go too much in this formal portfolio direction, where basically teachers are setting a framework, and then students are just pushing information in it. Milestone badges, it's something you have been asking for a long time. It has been very tricky because, you know, between Open Badge Factory and Open Badge Passport, there is a quite, I would say, complex connection, and it has been very heavy to dig information from Open Badge Factory to get the information for displaying these milestone badges. In the passport, we have been working hard on this question in the background, I would say several months, and now it will be released tomorrow also in the Open Badge Passport. So what you see here is not really what you will get. You will get something a bit better. But as I say, I had to do a snapshot from our development server, and all the badges were not these kind of badges that I can show you, those, you know, developer badges, and Elvis badges, and all this kind of nice, funny badges, but not perhaps for a good presentation. So what I show you here, that you will have in the badges section, you will have milestone badges. And then when you click the milestone badges, you will see here basically the badges that you have started to earn, I would say, in this way. So this picture tell you perhaps a bit more. So you can see that this Open Badge Factory member badge shows now 25% of progress in the progress bar, meaning that you have got one badge, the 24th of May, and you have still 3 badges to get the 100%. From the information, you will get, would say, information on when you have got the things a bit more resume style. But here, the idea that when you click a badge, which is a badge application, so for example, this OBF admin here, there you will see the get this badge feature, like in earn badge now. So now I would say a good, big, interesting, a guideline for you guys when you are designing milestone badges would be to set up milestone badges with a badge application. That they could be that the earners in the passport could basically click their learning path and then open and get the badges, I would say, online straight away from the passport. And this will be done automatically. So if in Open Badge Factory, let's say the badge OBF admin is associated to a badge application OBF admin, well, the system, you don't have to name it OBF admin. The system is smart enough to know that this badge is related to a badge application. Then here the link to the badge application will be displayed in this pass here. Okay, if you have some question, we will go after this presentation. There is new messages here. Okay. I get back to your questions at the end, that I don't get mixed during this trip. It's difficult to, as we say in Finland, it's difficult to eat chewing gums and to walk at the same time. That's what women say about men. It's something special. Okay, now if we are thinking about further development, what are we doing? Well, we have a strategy. Let's say in this strategy, we are going for improvement and for new features supporting the guidelines, the big topics that I have presented at the beginning of this presentation. So coming very soon, so meaning that when I say coming soon, it means that it's under construction, that we are actually doing coding already at the moment. The first, it will be usability improvement based on the user feedback. So we collect user feedback, and then we will do, for example, tomorrow we will release some improvements in the look and feel of badge applications, for example, based on our customer feedback. Flow questions, is it, how to navigate, how to find endorsement easily, how to share badges more easily. These kind of things are definitely on our list. But here we're working on a big thing, which is the possibility to deliver badges both as hosted badges and standalone signed digital credential. We will speak more about this thing at the EPIC 2019 in Lille. I hope I will see you in Lille. And here it's not a question of, I would say, doing, let's say, traditional digital credential as something different as badges, but it's a possibility to bake badge, metadata of the badge, in different formats. So our statement here is that why baking badges only in pictures? Pictures are very difficult to share. If you get a PNG picture, you want to share it in LinkedIn, it doesn't work without any displayer. And our customers have been asking all the time, could we get this kind of badges that we can really share? One possibility would be for the earner just to say, okay, I get this badge as a normal open badge, hosted open badge that I want to enrich in my passport. I want to add evidences. I want to get endorsement and so on. The life go on, but I want now to get very, very secure, verified snapshot of this badge in which there is the data of the badge, and this badge will be signed. So it's interesting from a technical point of view, but I think it will be also a big thing for improving the portability of badges, and also the possibility for different kind of learners and organizations to get, if they want, a bit more formal things, but also at the same time the possibility to get this evolving badge. So we are not making opposition between the world of digital credential and the world of open badges. We just want to merge them and to make the possibility to use the both sides. It's what I would call the Janus badge, the badge with two faces. Also, on the development list, improvement of sub-organization management. So in Pro, you have sub-organization. We need still to help users for grouping. You can use tasks. You could create groups. It will be easier. We will definitely make interesting development on badge applications. And the development of badge application will be related with the idea of claim badges. So, as you know, badges are usually created preset by an organization, and the organization validate the badge and recognize the learner skills and issue as a badge. So you have creator and recognition, which are really much bounded to each other. Now with endorsements, you have the possibility to decentralize the recognition. So you could have a badge which is basically created by me, telling about my skills, and the recognition will happen by endorsement. I can be endorsed by my colleague, I can be endorsed by my boss, and so on. So it's more about, we're speaking about claim and badge. Why these badge claims are important? They are definitely important because if we think now about the badges, they are very normative. Badge, even we said the badge is basically recognizing even informal learning. In one way, you have someone with this presetting, define the skills, a set of skills that are recognized by the badge. Okay, and then you have, let's say, 100 people who are matching this preset, I would say, the badge class requirements, basically. So this kind of badge it's very useful, but it's not useful for recognizing my particular skills, which are not always this kind of skills which are basically matching with what there is already on the market. If you are going for new jobs, or you are an expert in an area where there is no preset, I would say, competence frameworks, you can't have your skills recognized with badges. So now the idea will be to build this kind of badges that I can create myself and they can be recognized, but associate them with badge application that you can have also a frame that someone is basically sponsoring you from the fact that I want to tell about my skills, and then later you could send back your badge, which will be validated, for example, from the structure, from the organization who is supporting you in this process. So basically, here I am. I don't want to go to speak too much about that, but I would say that I don't really believe about the badges that I'm doing a badge and I ask my wife to endorse it. I'm a good husband. I'm not sure that I will get even endorsement, but I would like perhaps that there is some structure which is supporting me, and then getting at the end of the process, getting a validation by a structure on the process. So these badges, these claim badges can be, let's say, statements badge. It can be also dream badge, and the dream badge is something about what I would like to do. But basically, it's a question of the same thing. It's a question of having a personal skill or a personal pathway or a personal goal recognized with badges, which is, in my opinion, now quite difficult to do. Yeah, and of course, improvement of reports and management features. So meaning at pro level, for example, we could add more reports, management, visualizations. And we have big plans for project we call Penbash Factory Enterprise level, but I don't tell much here because it's we will tell more when we want to go out with it and tell you more about what will be done. Yeah, if I answer to Donny here, yeah, well, basically you can make claim badge today. That's true. You can create your own badge. I think there is no still, would say, support in the process. So it's quite much a flyer that you send and someone get it endorsed. So I think that we have quite many things to do, and having different kind of claim badges. Basically, I would say claim badges could be also interesting for organization. Claim badges could be only interesting for me, but it's a question of recognition. What kind of recognition you want, and what kind of, would say, how individual you want to be with this question. Okay. Then if we go a bit more in the Open Badge Passport side, what we have is now under construction two things. We have the mobile app. So what you see here, it's basically a snapshot of our developers proof of concept. So it's already in some stage working. So now we will work on the basically interface. So user interface more. Now it's already possible. We have already software we can get badges from the passport and display them in a telephone, in a mobile phone. Now there is a lot of things we need to do with sharing this app that you have in your telephone and in your phone, and there is a lot of, I would say, other things, not only getting badges. But we are already at the stage where we can, using the API from the Open Badge Passport, we can now get the badges in the mobile, and we could have what we call authentication, which doesn't require one time only account and password. So there is a token solution here, which will make the things very easy. And of course, the possibility to use badges offline, which is quite important in many, for example, for many customers in the humanitarian sector, for example, that you get your badge and you are in an area where you can't have connections and you can still display your badges in your telephone. So it's important for us. I think it will ease the way I mean, it will make badges more usable for our users and especially for young people also. Organization accounts mean that in the passport it will be possible for organizations to register and then to basically find people in the passport, competent people, I would say, but also to endorse them. So now the endorsement feature that you have in the passport will get a new dimension when you can be endorsed, not only by individuals, but you could be endorsed also by organizations. Some other important developments are improvement of search engine, meaning that you could find other badge, you could find badges easily, more easily, better searching also in the what is it, gallery, and so on. And then the fact that the flow would be easier, for example, for endorsement. For example, external endorsement could be a solution. Also, the passport that you want to request endorsement, all your bodies are not in Open Badge Passport. So if you want to get an endorsement, send your endorsement in the same way organization can do it in Open Badge Factory. Earnable badges on the map. So I didn't speak much about the map, but we have the map. For the moment, you can see public profiles and badges which have been earned publicly. In the future, there will be the possibility to find badges on the map also. So you are in some region, you could find the badges which are in some organization near you or on the map. Improvement of portfolio features, I told already about that. Further development of Salava API, meaning that it will be possible to set up services around passport we are quite here because quite near already, because we have developed an OAuth authentication system for the mobile app, because the mobile app is basically a service, meaning that it's usable. You could use it also for connecting with the passport for other purpose. So that's an interesting point. We have to clean a bit the Salava API and to make some cleaning on the corners, but I think it's something we can do quite quickly. So the slice passport, sorry for the but the slice passport is under development, but for the moment we are pushing a bit more on the dedicated passport, because we have several installations of the dedicated passport. So it appears that a big organization want their own passport, because then they can use the API. So basically, the Salava API can't be really open for the generic passport, because there is a lot of question with GDPR and with term and conditions and so on. So basically, the organization which is opening the passport should redesign term and condition of its service. So I think that the dedicated passport is now getting more popularity. For example, I just asked a Finnish university asking me, can we set up the term and condition in the passport for our own students? And I said, no, it doesn't work in the generic passport, because we have 45,000 people around the world, and we have to go for one term and condition and for one GDPR agreement. And they just say, okay, we're interested in setting up our own passport, because then we can do it. So meaning that the organization can really say to the students what are the rules and in this system. Yeah, there is a question about this Connect, Batch Connect API. Yes, why not? We are not. So it was about the Connect. Who's it? Yeah, the Batch Connect API. Yeah, as soon as it's part of the standard, yes, why not? It's not yet, but we are not. Let's say it's not a problem for us. And in the future, I think that we will have different kind of, I would say, passport installation. So we need also to have connectivity between this installation. So it's we can definitely use this kind of solution. Yeah. Well, so I'm sorry I've been speaking a long time here, but that was the big picture and what we are doing now. Now we have time for questions, and if you wish to use your microphone, I think it could be possible. But if you do not want, I can answer to the question in the chat. So perhaps if I go a bit back, sorry, on the question that we have in the chat first. Now you are unmute. So yeah, perhaps so you can perhaps unmute again. There was noise in the. Sorry. Well, let's say if someone wants to speak, to just set up your microphone, open it. Yeah. Well, if we go in the chat first, just to answer to some questions. Sorry. So I answer about the Batch Connect API. External endorsement in the passport, I think that At least Philip likes it. That's good. But I think it's also something that we could do in a way that you could request endorsement. So basically, at the moment, you can't really request endorsement in the passport. If the people find your badge, they can endorse you. If they don't find it, they can't. So basically, it's what I was speaking about, the question of flow, about improving the functionalities of the passport would be that you can request things, or you can, in one way, connect in an easier way with your peer and with your friends. So there will be both external and internal endorsement requests in the passport, definitely, to go further. Then there was a question about the Connect API. Okay. Yeah, if we need a better tester, great. Thank you, Eden. When we start to have a prototype that we can test, of course, I would be happy to have a group of people trying it and giving feedback. We probably will do it by steps, so meaning that the first implementation will be, I would say, quite simple, just getting your badges, deleting the badges, accepting, rejecting the badges, nothing very fancy. And then we will add these share functionalities and so on. So we don't wait to have all functionalities done. We can start with a smaller implementation. Yeah.
And about notifications on the dashboard factory, did you answer that question? You know, it's always difficult to know how many endorsement requests you have. I would like to see it clearly on the dashboard on factory, just like you did it on passport, because sometimes we really miss endorsement.
That's true. Yeah, definitely on factory. In factory, it would be good to see that you have. Yeah, we don't have a notice board in factory. Not in the same way, but some indication that you have pending endorsement request. Yes, definitely. Okay. So what else do we have here?
Well, Eric, I had a couple of questions. This is Don Rousselle.
Yeah.
I had a couple of questions. One of them, endorsement. External endorsement, my understanding is that soon we'll be able to have that they'll be able to put their icon, the endorsing organization, so those external endorsements will look the same as internal endorsements?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Ah, good. Okay. And the other question had to do with the milestone badge in the passport. You were showing an example where you needed all 4 badges. And my question was, what if you only needed 3? It would just be the minimum number. That's what folds in.
Well, it should not be complicated. I don't know if it has been in this, let's say, specification, but I think that but it's in OpenBadge Factory side, so that the passport is not really caring about this question. So the passport basically display the information from the OpenBadge Factory. So if it's in OpenBadge Factory, you have said that you have 4 badges and 2 should be completed to get the badge, the milestone badge. It should work in the passport. I think that is not a problem, but I will check. But I think it works in this way.
The other question I have.
Oh, sorry, Don. Sorry, Don. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Just one quick one, and then I'm done. So where it says connecting the badge application, so that if somebody wanted to earn the badge right away, would it connect to the badge application, or would it connect to earn this badge, which might be a course? Is that possible? Or?
Yeah, it will not be connected to. It will be connected to inside OpenBadge Factory. In fact, 90% of the things happen in OpenBadge Factory. So in OpenBadge Factory, if you select a badge, which is basically a batch application, which has been associated to a batch application, then it will be added to the milestone badge in the way that in the passport you could click and apply for it. What I'm not sure now that I think that, I have to check, but I don't know if the badge application has to be published already in the passport to be able to do that. I don't think so. I think it will be quite automatic. So if you have the badge applications, which are basically associated to your milestone badge, then you will have the possibility to apply for it in the passport.
Okay, thanks.
We want to make the things a bit more easier, though, because it's for many people quite complicated already to publish badges on the passport for some reason. Then if we would have this kind of rules that if the badge is not published, then you can't apply for it. It would be a bit complicated, I think. Yeah.
Hi, Eric. Hi, everybody. I had one more question about the milestone badge. To add one question about what Don just asked. Can we imagine in a short future the possibility to make a milestone badge that could organize badges from a community, I've done myself, that will be not only a milestone badge about one structure, but a milestone badge that could be composed of different structures badge.
Yeah, yes, it's it's a tricky question in one way. It's in one of the ways not really tricky, because basically you could have a badge, a milestone badge, which is composed by badges which have been created by other organizations. So I would say from a coding point of view, this already works. Now the question is more a question of usability. I would say interface question. Now you can't really when you create a badge, a milestone badge, you can pick badges from other organizations, or you could, of course, have a badge shared by one other organization to you, okay, as a link. In this case, it should work, but I'm not sure that it's perfect. But we have to. I understand your point that not only the badges that you have in your account in OpenBadge Factory, but you could use external badges.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, it's definitely a question. Okay. We have to clarify that and to study a bit how to make it easy. And I think it's a bit the question that we have now, that how to find easily badges shared by others. So basically now you share one badge to your partners, but it could be a possibility to create a kind of, let's say, repository where badges are shared and you could access the badges which are in the repository. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't tell I got the answer, but it could be something like a request that you make to your partner.
Yeah,
request to...
That, yeah, it could be a request. But the problem that you don't know what are the badges created by your partners. You don't see them if they don't display them. So the question would be just to know what you are requesting. So if I request Eden badge that you have been created in your environment, I should in one way could see that what I could request from you. So perhaps the idea would be that the partner would basically display what they want to be.
Yeah, I don't want to take too long time on it, but I'm not sure there is many people in this case, but we got to think about ecosystem creation that are not distantly, that are presential, and that then use the OBF tool to concretize the presential work. So yes, could be a way. Thank you for your answer, Rick.
Thank you for the question. And what else do we have? If you have any question, please. And,
yes, what about presenting my badges in a timeline? I saw that functionality in my mental, another badge service. I would like to know if it's difficult to implement, so I can show, you know, the chronology of my badges.
Yeah, why not? So, all right, yeah, in the timeline, so you would see, you would show, okay, I've got this badge and this badge, I've got this in May, June, and yeah, okay, like a kind of, I don't think it's very complicated. It's not very complicated. It's kind of digest basically, and using the time. As, yeah, good idea.
While we're dreaming in color, Philippe had a question earlier about mapping, but mapping almost like nodes and hubs, so between people who have the same badge. And I'm wondering if that might be an interesting visualization tool where you could see other people like on a hub and spoke diagram, but maybe multiple hubs and spokes for multiple badges. That's something they do for Twitter mapping. That,
yeah.
I'm wondering whether it could work for badges.
Yeah, kind of sociogram. I don't know if you know how you call it.
Yeah, social graph. Yeah.
Yeah, sociogram, and then you see the badge and you see the people around the badge. And then when you click another badge, it's turn and you see the people. Yeah. Yeah, I've done that before in my other life in the learning management system. We have done that for discussions. It was quite interesting to see how people discuss. One person, you see all the person who have been discussing with him. And so it was quite interesting to see how interactive this discussion were. So, why not? Yeah, visualization. I mean, it's in the future will be very important. So now we are exploring basic things for the moment. You know, badges. It's a long story. I think we will be working on badges a long time. But at some stage, I think for end users, visualization will be the big thing. To see how people are matching or how they are connecting or how badges are connecting to each other, competence and all these kind of things. Yeah.
And building from that question, I put this in the chat as well. So as we see more and more use of this and more organizations are building badges for sometimes the same kind of concept, how are we making sure that the badge I create is at the same level or the same quality as a badge someone else creates? Or how do we keep it from getting super chaotic?
Well, there is several approaches here. I would say, as I said with ESCO, that in some, let's say, I see that we have ecosystem emerging in I would say small networks at this moment. So some organization, humanitarian organization, or other association or schools are basically starting to work together, and in some cases, the way to ensure that the badges will be based on the same I would say level, or we are speaking the same thing. It's competence frameworks. So basically, it's why ESCO seems to be very important now, for example, in Finland, is because in Finland they have made quite big decision that nearly all the badges, for example, in some let's say school context, will be related to ESCO. So in one way, you can find matching with a competence framework is one way to ensure that. And then in the Open Badge Passport, we don't have it yet, but it would be a possibility to search, for example, all badges matching this, for example, competence. You know, this ESCO competence, for example. ESCO is just a proof of concept. I mean, it's great for Europe. And of course, as a European provider, we want to support it. But in one way, we could also integrate other frameworks in the future. Okay. Well, then there is one other approach, which will be that, okay, we don't have frameworks, we don't use frameworks. but we create badges and we share badges together. So one of my ideas has been that we could set up a, what would say, badge wiki. Not there is a badge wiki already existing. It's more about information of badges, but a common space where people could create badges together. So it's co-creation of badges could be a solution. But even in co-creation of badges, you could have these kind of badges which are, I would say, not really pointing to a competence framework, but more to experience, to what the people are really doing in their jobs. And of course, some of these badges could also align to a competence framework. But let's say, Marie, at the moment, I would say many of our customers are aiming to develop ecosystems with finding, with competence framework. It seems to be the first stage. Right? It could be also that in the future, there is, I would say, kind of open source badge development, which could be a dynamic competence framework in one way, which could work in some context. I think the contexts are here very important. I don't know if I answer your question, but Lisa.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if I missed a lot of questions in the chat. I'm sorry. As I say, I have difficulty to speak and answer question at the same time. Okay. There's a question here. I think that I've been answering to the branded endorsements, meaning that external endorsers could bring their own, will be able to bring their own icons. And so, any questions?
No, what is the weather like in Oulu?
Not snowing yet. Gray and cold. We don't have the palm trees like in Rouen, I think. And yeah, I didn't see any. I mean, the birds are leaving, so it's very impressive. Every year we have.
They come to us.
Yeah. And you are shooting your friend people, shooting the birds and doing some foie gras and all. Yeah, but it's very impressive. We have swans here, where I live. Thousands of swans flying low and going south. So it's every year. I would say it's beautiful, but in one way, it's a bit sad. But yeah, you know, it's a choice to be. Yeah, good. And any other question? I hope that, I mean, I don't know if it's going in the right direction, in your opinion. I mean, we are, ourselves, we are quite, I would say, crazy about this development. I think that it's very interesting, and we